everyone, it's Sarah. So I'm really excited. I'm going to share with you how I do my meal planning. This is just my own system that I've kind of adapted for my own needs, especially while I'm in college. This is a really crazy busy period of time. I started a new job, I'm going to college, I'm trying to get experience and, building my own, my resume with my job and just building all this great, stuff that it's just super hard to keep track of stuff in life. And with all this increase in homework and responsibility at my work and planning activities and stuff, it's just a lot of work and a lot of time, and it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Anyways, I'm just really excited to share with you some of my great tips. I think over the years it's changed a lot. So when I first moved out here, I definitely was very lax on it, and I know that when I'm more lax on my stuff, like if you're lax on your your ideas of what you want to have for food, or buying food and keeping it in the house, or buying groceries but not having a meal in mind, it's really easy to go, oh, let's go out to eat, or just make like something out of a box, like a macaroni or pastaroni or something like that. And it's not bad, but going in with the idea of that you're going to make a meal instead of just having a box of like food that's just around the house, I feel like anytime you make something from home, it's definitely going to be a little bit healthier than if you go out to eat or if you make it like in a box. And it might not be true for everything, but in my mind it is, because you're using fresh ingredients, it's in your food, you can cut things out, you can make adjustments, whereas you don't know what's going into your food at restaurants, you don't know what's been processed and what's what's in the food when you can't see it. What my plan is for this next week or two, honestly, I do plan for the week, but sometimes things come up and that's just life, and it will go for 2 weeks of planning. And so that's totally fine with me. It's not exact. I know some people really like to say, like, this is what I'm going to have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and weekends are free, or that you're going to plan out Saturday and Sunday, and that's not the way I do it. So I definitely plan mine out as I make these many meals listed on a sheet, and then I decide what I want to have that day or the night before, but I don't plan which food I'm gonna have on Monday or Tuesday. I just say, oh, this week I'm gonna have this available in the house. I have all the ingredients ready, and then I'll pre-make it, or I will make it on the spot that day. So I use my planner usually to help me with planning, but I also use Pinterest, and I use like advertisements of what's on sale, and that's one of my new inclusions, is using the advertisements to see what's coming up on sale that week. And I think it's helped a lot. It's been really great. So yeah, I definitely overplan. I know I overplan so that I can keep myself with leftovers, with food in the house. Yeah, I try not to overplan with the fresh ingredients, but I definitely try to keep items that are really close to being like almost a full recipe in the house. Like right now I have a pasta that I've had in the cupboard for a couple weeks now. It's the pasta noodles, like the bow tie noodles. I've got mozzarella cheese packets in the fridge, and then I have what's the other one? Just the pasta sauce. And, that's just what happens, like sometimes it sits in my cupboard for a couple weeks, and it's like, well, now I know I have at least one whole meal of everything with it, and then if I want to add a veggie to it, that's totally, available for me. Or if I have extra vegetables, I'm like, oh, I need to use an onion and some garlic up, I can just toss that into the sauce and cook it, saute it and add it into the sauce, and that's totally fine as well. Another meal that I keep things for in my cupboard it's a chicken pasta, like with bacon and chicken and cheese, and it's really great. And then I'll usually add broccoli, like steamed broccoli with it. You could bake it with it as well, but I don't, because you're really only melting the cheese. So it's got like pasta. I use this either the spirals or a different version like of Italian pasta. And then I have the 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup. I usually always keep bacon in my fridge, so that's not really a problem. And then I keep chicken in my freezer, and all you have to do is thaw out a couple pieces of chicken. And then it's Monterey Jack cheese, which I love, and I use that for my quiches, so I keep that in my fridge all the time. I think it's like butter maybe, and I think there's one more ingredient, but that's most of the ingredients, and I have most of that stuff available like on hand most of the time, so it's not like it's a bunch of stuff that, oh, I don't have anything in my house to make, or oh, I have to have a box of macaroni and cheese because I don't have anything else in the fridge or house at all. Alright, so this is what you need. Not required, but this is what I use, but I will say this is what you need to kind of be successful in the planning that I'm taking on. So, what I use is I have my planner, I have my advertisements for my local grocery store or any coupons that you might have. My coupons for Safeway, that is my local store, is digital. They gave these in recently. I don't know if they're just doing it to help people realize that there's coupons. Advertisements. I don't have anything for my local farmer's market, but I definitely know kind of on average what they have there, and if I can't find something there, I can definitely grab it at the grocery store. I also will have a post-it note. This is what will go in my planner for the food that's available, and then Sharpie for the advertisements, and then I also have a pen for writing onto the post-it notes. And I also think that having a phone or an iPad or just a computer with Pinterest on it is pretty essential for meal planning, at least for me. You can use cookbooks or things like that, or other recipes that you find at stores, but I really think having Pinterest, something that can match what you are using for your ingredients and stuff that you have in your house, and that you can really just kind of keep an eye on those things and then plan based on what you have versus buying to make something that is in your recipe book. So let's get started. So all I'm doing here is I'm going through the advertisements and just looking through to see what's for sale, if there's anything I want, and just marking it off for future buys. Alright, so once I've gone through my advertisements and looked, especially Safeway, because they have their Friday deal, and it doesn't have to be 100%. You don't have to do this specifically. You can just, you know, have an idea and circle and go from there. It's just an initial idea. Alright, so I already showed you part 1 of my thing, which was to use the advertisement and stuff. Part 2 is to look at recipes. So first you look at recipes, and then you go in and I make a separate folder. So this is my 2015 school foods. I have a whole bunch of different ones as well. So I click on this. These are ones that I'm thinking about making soon. So these are ones that I've looked at my recipes, and what I've initially done was I looked at what was on sale, and then I've kind of compiled things. That look like they might be from what I can make. So if I have chicken, I know I can make this one, and then, you know, when I have, stuff I make potatoes and stuff, I can make potato soup, pumpkin pie oatmeal. Thinking about making this one. So I'll pop this open, I'll look at the recipe, I'll see what it needs, and then I will write down all the ingredients that it needs. And I'll usually use my phone for it. Sometimes I'll use a piece of paper, so for a piece of paper's sake, I'll just do it on a piece of paper. So then I will use this piece of pad paper right here to write down everything I need. So I look through it, and let's see, it's no bake ones. So I look at this. Do I have sugar? Yes, I have that much sugar. Do I have brown sugar? I think I have this much brown sugar. If I'm not sure, I'll write it on this notepad over here and put a question mark by it. And I know that I will look back at my cupboard or my refrigerator later. I know I have this much butter. Alright, so I know I don't think I have 2/3 cup of milk in my fridge. So I will come over here in my pad paper. I'll write milk. And that was it 2/3? And then I write 2/3, and then I'll write question mark. I think I have milk, but I don't think I have that much. Pumpkin spice pudding mix. Definitely don't have that. And then what else? Do I have pumpkin pie spice? I made my own pumpkin pie spice, so I don't need this one. And I do have vanilla extract, and I do have these rolled oats, and I do have that much. Usually before I plan to make something, I will read the recipe, the directions, and make sure that I know everything that I have to do, and that I know that I have time and the availability and the space to make it. And then, so that's one thing I have available now, so I'll keep looking and find a couple more things. Or like this one, let's compare the recipe. I might make both of these just to compare them. Because they're like, I have the same ingredients and stuff. The other one, the ingredients might not work for me because I'm not sure if I'll find that pumpkin spice pudding. Instant pudding. So let's come in here, let's look at this one. So I'll come back in a minute when I know exactly what I want to make, and I will show you how I broke it down, okay? Alright, so the final part, after I look at all my Pinterest and get the recipes all put together, and make sure they're all saved in a new file, which I created, then I go through each recipe, I write the name down of the recipe and which section it corresponds in, and then I write down all the ingredients. So these are all the things that I need. Obviously these first two are not for the meals, but I grab my drink that I always drink during the week, toilet paper. If I don't know if I need it 100%, or if I don't know if I have enough, I'll put a question mark by it like this. Don't know if I have enough pumpkin cans per recipe. And then I'll write down how much it is, because sometimes I'll have a recipe and it's like, this is the one thing I'm going to make. And then I add another recipe to my list over here. And that way I know if I need to have more, how to estimate the amount I need. And then down here I have a separate list for farmer's market ingredients, because I usually go to the farmer's market before I go to the grocery store. This week's a little bit different. I think I'm going to go to the grocery store sooner, but I might be able to hold off and wait. So then I write this stuff down here, and if I can't get it there at the grocery store or the farmer's market, I will go to the grocery store and get them instead. But I try to get farmer's market because the produce is way better there. And then over here is a list of all the foods that I'll have. So I'll list breakfast stuff first, because I really don't need to know it all the way. I just have a small section for reminders. By the way, I didn't mention, this is a grocery list and meal plan for the next 2 weeks on average. It is a week for surely, but I always do a little bit more just because sometimes things change or you just don't want that food or whatever. And then down here is lunch, dinners, and snacks. So my idea is that I plan 3 full meals for Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And those are the days I'm home for dinner. The other days are Wednesdays and Thursdays are leftovers because I will be at school or I don't have time because I have night class and I don't have time to make a full meal. Some of this stuff is going to be able to have leftovers, and some of it is just like a one-night meal. So for example, I put like a little L this time for a leftover. I'm trying that out to see if that'll help me remember. So I have skinny honey lemon chicken, and then I added like with garlicky broccoli. It's a new recipe, both new recipes that I'm trying out. And that's how I do my meal planning. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want any, you know, more information or more details about something that maybe I didn't mention. Please feel free to leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe. And thanks for watching my Vlogtober video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.